Hey guys, I'm live. I just want to show you out our hotel window right here. You see what's going on behind me? Can you see that? That is crazy, man. That's been going on since this morning. And that is actually a drive-through special medicine, I guess, pop-up center, right? And these are people that are going for their third tablespoon of special medicine out there. So that's what those tents were. It's funny because yesterday I was looking out the window and I says, "Hey, Wendy, this is awesome. There's a farmer's market beside our hotel here, and we can walk over to the farmer's market." For some reason, I thought it was a farmer's market. And Wendy says, think again, Joe. Look at these people. They do actually have face coverings on in their cars. And there's nurses out there. And she sees people with clipboards. And this is actually a special medicine drive-through clinic. Isn't that awesome? So freedom of choice. I believe in freedom of choice. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with all what's going on, but these people are lining up in droves, and right now it's quiet. That lineup was from those tents up there. Can you see those tents up there? All the way to those tents down there. It's starting to get dark out. It is 4:34 p.m. here. We're in Langley on the coast, about 25 miles or so southeast of Vancouver, and this starts at 8 a.m. in the morning. People all day are lining up for their third tablespoon of the special medicine. I guess it will prevent them from getting the world flu. And the reason I'm saying this the way I am is because a lot of stuff is censored on here. And so I got to say special medicine, and I have to say world flu, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're in Langley and you want your third tablespoon, come on down. It's right beside the Best Western. And man, they've been giving out a lot of this. A lot of tablespoons have been given out today. And what I'm not liking here is right out my window, there's a deciduous tree, and it looks pretty ugly. Doesn't it look ugly? It's about 7 degrees Celsius out here right now. And if there was a palm tree out this window, and there are palm trees in Langley, it would look much warmer. So there you go, folks. The special medicine drive-through tents set up in Langley on the mainland. And people are just lining up. I guess they listen to the news. See, Wendy and I don't listen to the news, so none of this really exists to us. But when you look out the window, it's reality. It's kind of like something you'd see out of maybe a sci-fi movie or something, right? And wow, no thanks. I'll pass. Anyway, I'm going to put this over here. And anyway, we had a great time in Fort Langley today. We went out with Foodie Phil. Went to his nephew's place. His nephew has the most awesome place. Let me just plug this back in here. There we go. Jane. Yeah, Wi-Fi is better here. We got really good Wi-Fi. It's really fast, so I can actually upload videos. So I can take a 5-minute video and it goes on in about 2 or 3 minutes. At home, a 5-minute video would take maybe 2.5 hours, something like that. So really good high-speed fiber optics internet here. So let's just see how it lasts. Hopefully it doesn't die on me. I might, let's knock on wood, Jane. Let's knock on wood. So anyway, we had a beautiful sunny day here today. You can see some of the videos we shot driving around through the old village of Fort Langley on Wendy's channel, Gulf Island Rock. Check out some of the videos. She's got some footage. As she was driving, I was holding the iPad, and I shot like a 14-minute video of driving the back roads to the country to Fort Langley, a very old village in Langley. So we're about, like I say, 25, 30 miles southeast, maybe 25 miles southeast of Vancouver. And it is a beautiful place. I used to live here. I used to live in this place. There are palm trees around and exotic plants, but not as many as you'd see right along the coast because we're about 6 miles in from the coast, maybe something like that. As you get farther from the coast, you're going to see less palm trees, but there are definitely still palm trees. And even east of here, we drove another few miles east of here. And yeah, we did spot some nice palm trees in people's gardens, but not a lot of them. And like I say, as you get closer to the coast, in some of the coastal towns, there's palm trees everywhere. So it just goes to show you the difference in climate. Last Saturday, I went hiking to the mountain summit before the heavy rain. Oh, so you're getting heavy rain there too in Hawaii. Interesting. Well, we've had the atmospheric river. We've had the Pineapple Express atmospheric river. So east of here, out in the Fraser Valley, they've had a lot of flooding, tons of flooding. And here, Langley, we're high and dry. We don't have to worry about flooding, but this is my old stomping grounds. And well, it's a nice place. but I much prefer to live on the island. I don't think I could live here again, but it is a nice place to visit. I could certainly live in Hawaii. So anyway, hope all is well with you on the island of Oahu. I know it's about 80 degrees there. It's about 43 degrees here, maybe 44 degrees, something like that. So just seasonal. The rain in your ear is gone. Yeah, same with here too. It was, like I say, beautiful sunny day here. And I think maybe some more rain. I actually should look at the Langley forecast. I think it's going to get cooler here. It does tend to get cooler here than where we live on Salt Spring Island, like I say, because the ocean's not right beside us to regulate the temperatures, but not heavy. I love the rain in Hawaii, though. You know, the rain in Hawaii, Jane, is absolutely awesome. I can go out there and it can be a torrential downpour on me. Tropical rain feels so good. And it's just, that's the only way I like the rain when I'm in Hawaii. Here, well, now that I'm retired, it's okay. It can rain too because I don't have to go out and if I don't want to. When I had to work in the rain, it did kind of suck. It wasn't fun working in the rain. So you can see I visited some gardens here. I visited my friend's garden in Cloverdale, which is near this area. It's a town beside us, and there's some nice 30-foot palm trees growing there. We planted those palm trees 30 years ago, just over 30 years ago when they were very tiny, and they are absolutely thriving. He's in zone 8A, 8B, and lots of nice plants, lots of nice redwood trees around here. There's tons of redwood trees. People are big into redwoods and monkey puzzle trees. Yeah, there's a few palm trees here and there, but mostly redwoods. There's lots of broadleaf evergreens too. On the way up to the mountain summit, I saw Pritchardia. Oh, nice. I like Pritchardia. Pritchardia are awesome palms. Excuse me. You know, I just had for lunch, I had East Indian and Korean. No, it was East Indian food. We had East Indian food. Oh, it's so good. I love East Indian food. I thought we were going to have Chinese food last night, but we ended up having East Indian food. Either way, I love Chinese food. I like all food. We had East Indian and Korean food, and quite spicy. The lady, our friend's wife, made a really good soup. It was a kimchi. I don't know if you guys like kimchi. It was a kimchi soup with tofu in it. Super spicy. What do you think, Jane? Do you like kimchi? When I'm on Maui, that's what I buy. I buy big containers of kimchi, and I love to eat fermented cabbage. Oh my God, it's so good. I go for the hot and spicy kimchi. It is so yummy. And then when I go to ABC store, I buy my spam musubi. Mount Summit of Saturday, foggy. Oh, it's foggy, but warm, Jane. Warm. Where you live, it's always warm. You got to love that. If I were you, I'd go up to Lion Arboretum again. And I guess you can go there anytime you want. I don't know if you drive there or take the bus. So I think I've driven there before. Most like time I take the bus because you can get a transfer. So Wendy and I take the bus up to Lion Arboretum. We catch it right in Waikiki on Kuhio. And on the way back from Lion Arboretum, we'd also stop at the Ione, the Palace. And we'd look at the Palace too. Oh, you like kimchi, but you eat it in moderation. Now, do you like the spicy kimchi? I like the hot, spicy kimchi. Oh, God, it's so good. What's the name of the palace again? Is it the Iolani Palace? Or is that what it's called, the Iolani Palace? Or am I saying that right? What is the palace there, Wendy? The palace in Hawaii. Mountain summit, high 60s Fahrenheit. Palace on Hawaii. Iolani Palace. That's right. Iolani Palace. Sorry. That's what I meant. Yeah. So I've actually got some videos I shot of the Iolani Palace last time we were on Oahu. And we also stopped to see there's the big clock. There's also the big statue of King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha statue in Honolulu, because we go to Chinatown too. We like to go to Chinatown in Honolulu and Hotel Street. And there's a really good Chinese restaurant there. Oh, you eat regular? See, you're a healthy girl, Jane. Kimchi is very good for you. And I'm guessing you probably don't eat spam musubi, right? Do you like spam musubi or probably not? You probably don't eat spam. I get you as a healthy girl, right? Yeah, regular kimchi is pretty spicy. You can actually make it yourself. You know that? There are recipes for kimchi. So the soup we had last night, she put kimchi in it, chunks of tofu. It was so Good. So what she had these rice. She had lots of rice. And what I do, I take the soup and I put it. Is that it? What is that? Oh, I put it on. I put the soup on the rice, and that's a great thing about rice. You can put anything with rice. Oh, you do eat spam musubi. Okay. I guess you go to ABC store sometime. I mean, they're all over Waikiki, right? They're on Maui too. Just right where we stay on Maui, there's a ABC, and we go to that one, and I get malasadas or cinemasadas and spam musubi. Kimchi from Costco is my yes. That's the stuff I like. And you can buy big containers of Costco. And there's a Costco just around the corner from us here where we're staying on the mainland in this town of Langley. Okay, we're in Langley, and you don't go to ABC store. No ABC for you. I go in there because that's where I get cinemasadas, and I do like to eat spam musubi. And once in a while, I get a coffee in there once in a blue moon. But we just like to look around there. It's kind of fun. Got so many ABC mugs in our house, it's not even funny. So anyway, this is the way it works. Vancouver's here, and to the southeast is Langley, and we're in Langley. Langley's right here. So Vancouver's right on the coast, and Langley's a bit inland. So about 6 miles in and about 25 to 30 miles southeast of Vancouver. Yeah, lots of tourists go there. That's right. How about the Safeway? Excuse me. Do you go to the Safeway up in Kapahulu? Or how about Peggy's Picks? You know that secondhand store? It's called Peggy's Picks. Peggy's Picks near the Safeway on Kapahulu. I think what are we going to have for dinner? Are we going to have nachos?
Deli sandwiches.
We're having deli sandwiches. We're eating in our hotel. We're in our hotel right now. This is what our hotel looks like. There's Wendy sitting on the bed.
Hey.
Wendy there. And then there's another room over there. You know what? I do. Yeah, we go. Wendy and I walk to that Safeway. We walk to the Safeway from Kuhio, which is a nice walk. It's not a bad walk. And we walk along the LOI Canal. And then we carry our groceries back in bags, which is a bit of a way to walk. We actually bought Lay's there before too at the Safeway because they do have a florist shop in there too. So, but that's a nice store. And you know what? We go to the Costco on Maui. Wendy and I go to the Costco on Maui, but I don't think I've ever been to the one on Oahu. I'm not even sure where it is. When we arrive on Maui, we first thing we do, the car rental place drives us to they'll pick us up at the airport, drive us to Kihei Rent-A-Car. We'll get our car because we always pre-book it for a month. Then we drive to our hotel, drop our bags off, and then we go back to what's the airport? Where's the airport? What's the airport name on Maui what comes in there? God, I forget. My mind's a blank.
Sorry,
I'm just trying to think of the airport name. It drives me crazy. Kahului Airport. So we go back to Kahului, where Costco is, and we load up on Costco. The mountain here, I do go to Safeway. I missed that message. You retracted it. Jane was going to read it. So anyway, we go back to Costco. We load up because Costco is so cheap in Hawaii. And Costco here is cheaper than most stores, but it's still pretty expensive. But the thing is, you can buy bulk stuff at Costco. But I'm not too sure where the Costco is on Oahu. I'm guessing it's near Honolulu, or is it near Pearl City? Maybe there's even two Costcos there. There's even one in Kauai too. But the one in Hawaii on Maui is right near the airport. So I always load up there on stuff. There's so many things at Costco. So the joys of being on the mainland here, there's way more stores. Salt Spring Island, where we live, we don't have the stores, right? There's no box stores. There's no fast food. And so it's limited because it's a smaller island and everything has to be brought by boat. So if we want anything substantial, we have to go to Vancouver Island. The mountain summit is grassy and a stunted nature shot. Oh, cool. So what's the elevation up there? I missed that? How high is that mountain? Are we talking 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet, 2,000 feet? I think you might have said it, but I missed it. I missed it, Jane. I'm guessing it's up there, but it probably doesn't get that cold. I don't think it gets that cold on the mountain. Like, you're never going to get frost or anything up there, right? I don't think any place on Oahu ever gets frost. I would doubt it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's some areas on Oahu that are much wetter than others. Waikiki is 20 to 21 inches annually. And if you went up into the Manoa Hills, it's going to be wetter. Today I recorded my first heat index weather, so I got my cool 81. Cool. That's pretty good. Yeah, we were pretty mild the other day, but we're out over in the mainland right now, just southeast of Vancouver. I'm in my old stomping grounds, but yesterday they recorded 72.5 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's up in Penticton about a 3. How far is Penticton from here? About a 4-hour drive? It's probably a 4-hour drive east of here. A long way away. It's desert. It's actually desert, so they can warm up, but it's pretty warm for this time of the year, 72.5. That's kind of weird. Here today was around maybe 46 degrees, something like that, and sunny. And, I went around driving around looking for palm trees. Cool, 90. Well, I think we're going to be getting some more rain by the looks of it. Pretty sure we're going to get some more rain. 7-day forecast. Let me just look this up, Zach. 7-day Southern Gulf Island forecast. And you always got to give or take a few degrees. I'm seeing rain, mix of sun and cloud, periods of rain on Saturday. Yeah, I do see a temperature of -1 one night, but give or take, depending on location. The trees are stunted because of the constant winds. Oh, that kind of, so 2,000 foot. So the highest mountain on our island is about 2,300 feet, 2,320, something like that, but nothing stunted up there. I mean, it does get windier. If you go to the west coast of Vancouver Island, the trees are kind of bent. The ones right growing on the ocean by the prevailing westerlies. Tornado outbreak. No, you don't want any tornadoes. Yeah, we've never had blizzards here, thank God. There is no blizzards. There's actually no such thing, 0 blizzards here where we live. There's no such thing as a blizzard on Salt Spring Island. It has never happened. We've had snow, but no blizzards. Yeah, it would have to be, a blizzard would have to be on the tops of the mountains because Vancouver Island, that I know of, doesn't get any blizzards. So it would have to be on top of a mountain. Most of Vancouver Island is pretty mild. Get inland, it's a little colder, but it's the mountaintops. There's some big mountains on Vancouver Island, and I would say on those mountaintops, yeah, they probably could get a blizzard, but anywhere near the sea level and stuff like that in the towns, no such things as blizzards on the west coast. The east coast, yep, and probably Calgary, where the guy grows those palm trees in Cochrane, there's blizzards. But I've yet to ever see a blizzard here, and I've been here 57 years, just about 58 years. No blizzards. But there was actually a tornado 2 weeks ago, believe it or not, and I saw it on the news. I can't believe it. Somebody shot a video of actually a tornado that ripped through near the endowment lands at UBC in a part of Vancouver. Came off the ocean. It was crazy. Black sky and a funnel cloud, a massive funnel cloud, and it made a big mess. 71 Bigfoot. Yeah, I don't know where Bigfoot is. Oh, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, he's in Ohio, right? Yeah. So I'm guessing southern Ontario too. The mountain summits I'm talking about is Koala Mountains on Oahu. The high mountains near oceans causes rainforests. And Jane, I like rainforests. Rainforests are awesome. I got to see the Tofino 7-day Port Renfrew. I'm just looking at Port Renfrew weather. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking there might be some snow at higher elevations next weekend and maybe even lower elevations here if the temperature does drop and the rain comes in. Zone 10, well, hopefully, yeah. And you got to remember, it's just the start of winter. You're not through it yet, so hopefully you have a Zone 10 winter. I'm guessing just a regular winter here. That's what I'm thinking. Regular winter, temperature, we might get down to -4, might get a -5. A regular winter is nothing below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a regular winter for us this far north. If we don't get below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a regular winter. If we get below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, that's not a regular winter. That's a colder than normal winter. I'm guessing we will not get anywhere below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but we'll have to wait and see. January can be ugly. December can be ugly. February, usually by mid-February, I say we're in the safe zone, but there still can be snow. It has happened before. I've seen it. I've seen snow in March before it has happened. It's rare, but it has happened. So what are you saying back there? Somebody backseat driving. Right there. There's somebody backseat driving in this hotel room. There she is. She's actually, I shot her a 14-minute video today, so she's uploading it, which will probably take about 5 minutes. At our place, it'd take 2 days. Just keep getting constant. Yeah, we get a lot of pineapple expresses on our islands. Yeah, this time of the year on the coast. Tallest trees on the Kualua, 5.6 feet. Oh, really? There's stunted tree ferns too, eh? Wow, crazy.
Hey, Fort Langley is a historic town, isn't it?
Fort Langley is a historic town.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see some quite nice palm trees east of here too. So we went maybe maximum 4 miles east of where we are right now. And man, Wendy goes, hey, look at the palm trees. There's not a lot of palm trees I see in this town. This is my old town, okay? But I live south of here even more, close to the US border. And but I am starting to see more palm trees in this area. Like there's one in front of the Olive Garden in town, quite a big one. And I remember when it was small more than 10 years ago. And it's actually a pretty nice palm tree. I uploaded a video of it and I shot it as we drove by. Severe tornado. You don't want any tornadoes, man. That you do not want. Hopefully they miss your area. I do not wish tornadoes upon anybody. Tallest tree ferns on the summit are 6 feet. 6 feet. Well, that's still pretty good. Our tree fern has about 6 feet of trunk. But when it gets its fronds on it, the new fronds, of course, it's much taller. So I pray next year we do not get any of the crazy heat. Is this area cold? This area is colder in the winter. Langley is colder in the wintertime, for sure. It's southeast of Vancouver because we're about 6 miles in from the ocean here. So it's zone 8A, 8B. Oh, way colder. Hotter summers, way hotter summers, and colder winters. Absolutely. Langley, no doubt about it, man. Different growing zone here. I lived here for just about 17 years. I grew palm trees and exotic plants. They get a lot of cold outflow winds here in the winter. What did I get? I did harvest some seed from a palm that we planted 30 years ago in Cloverdale, zone 8A, 8B. There's 30-foot palm trees growing in the guy's garden. We planted those palms over 30 years ago when they were this big. Remember planting them, and they're 30 feet tall now. Should harvest seeds for, yeah, there. So I did get some seeds towards the leeward portions of the mountains. They would be taller leeward, and that's the drier area, right, Jane? Because we stay on the leeward side of Maui. So in front of the Olive Garden, nice palm, but it's one palm, so there's not going to be any seeds on it. Well, it might be a male too, but east of here where you're driving, there's these two beautiful palm trees in front of someone's driveway, and they're just absolutely flawless. So when I used to grow palm trees here, it'd be rare to ever see a palm tree in anybody's garden. That was a long time ago. But now, you'll drive around town. Oh, there's a palm, usually tucked up against a building, right? Yeah, these ones here are zone 8A, 8A, 8B. Most winters here, I think, are probably 8B, but it does fall into 8A. So I'm thinking every maybe 5 winters, it go into 8A. So it might have changed, though. It was more like 8A when I lived here, So more of the winters were 8A than 8B. But I think now it seems like there's more 8B. And I'm seeing, like I say, more palm trees now than I ever have. And where my buddy lives, where we planted those palms 30 years ago, before we planted those palm trees, you'd never see palms out there, man. You just would not see palm trees. And you drive around his neighborhood, there's palm trees everywhere. And his are big. So the seed that grew his palm trees actually came from local palms in Vancouver, right? So I did harvest some seed. I'm probably going to grow. I'm probably going to sell a few. I picked a bunch off a short, stubby palm I planted 30 years ago in his garden. And the palm trunk is no more than 4 or 5 feet tall. I'm going to say no more than maybe 4.5 feet tall at the max. And it's been there for 30 years. It's really fat and it's loaded with seed. I got a video of it. You can see it here. And that Sasha guy in Michigan said the palm should grow a lot faster. Well, he's not getting the point. Palm trees, Trachycarpus, do grow fast here. But I posted that to show him that if they're growing in a poor site, poor growing conditions, they can be stunted sometimes. But it's totally healthy. It's stunted and it's got tons of seed on it. He grows in Michigan. Really, palm trees will not grow in Michigan. You'll have to always protect them there. These palm trees are growing right out in the open. So he wasn't getting the point. He's saying palm trees grow faster in Michigan. Well, actually, palm trees grow up to 1.5 feet of trunk per year here, Trachycarpus palms. And I've seen it with my own eyes. But so he has to look at the taller ones in my video growing in the background. The closer you are to the coast on the leeward side, it'd be dry. Yeah. So Maui, Jane, where we stay, is 9 inches annually. Due to global warming, I think the waterway is drier. Yeah. So I always thought Waikiki was about 20 to 20 inches annually, Jane, something like that. For Jacob to go to Dallas ring it. Yeah. Mexicana. I used to have some nice Mexicana at my last place, and they froze. I had them in pots, and it was a really bad winter when the temperature got down to 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and it froze my Sable Mexicana. I had some in 2-gallon pots, and they were beautiful Mexicana. It froze a ton of my potted palms. I bet you over 100 potted palms. There's Camel in there. Hello, Camel. How you guys doing? Are these guys still lining up?
Yeah, they're still there.
No way.
You know what? They probably go until 8 or 9.
I'm going to show you guys something here. I just want to show you out our window. So this is out the hotel window. You can see what's going on out here. So you see these tents. See all those tents set up there in the distance. So the first day we checked in here yesterday, I said to Wendy, I says, "Wow, that's probably like a farmer's market." Well, she says, "No, it's not. It's actually a drive-through clinic. It's a drive-through clinic where people are lining up to get their third tablespoon of special medicine." Is like, man, I was bummed out because I thought we could go over there and get some fresh produce. But this is what's happening right now live from Langley. It is 4:58 p.m. Pacific time. And those are people and you know what? That's nothing. It's quiet now. Been going all day since 8 a.m. People lining up to get their third tablespoon. So whatever makes people happy. By the way, these trees need to go, and we need to put some palm trees in here. I should have brought some palm seeds to spread around. The ones I harvested are still green, right? Yeah, pretty much Palm Nation. That's the way I see it too. Communist gulag. Yep. What?
In Australia.
What?
It says people can suddenly be mandatorily detained whether vaccinated
No way.
or not. Building the camps across the country in Queensland.
I've seen Trachycarpus. Yeah, I've never seen them grow 3 feet of trunk here, but a foot and a half easy, maybe slightly more, but never 3 feet. Hey, Palms, how's it going? Good to see you. There's one at Beverly Hills, Pickwick Lake. It's cool, interesting. Yeah, we are. It's I like the hotel, but I don't like the parking lot beside it. It's dark. Yeah, it's 4:59 p.m. Pacific time here, Camel. 4:59 p.m. Would be around 20 inches. Climate change, everything. Yeah, it's different. Things are changing, aren't they, Jane? No, thank you, James. I will pass on that. Joe's sitting on the fence. Joe is sitting on the fence. You know what I do? I take vitamin D, vitamin A. I take zinc. I take NAC. What else do I take? Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, CoQ10, and NAC. Those are the vitamins I take every day. And plus, I have a banana shake with isogenics. I don't know. I think I'm pretty healthy. Knock on wood. I don't even remember the last time I was sick. So I'll just stick to what I'm doing. I'll exercise 5 days a week and keep growing palm trees. Keep growing palm trees and get lots of fresh air. And don't wear one of those things. That's bad for you. You want to breathe the fresh air. Minus 14. Oh my God. Holy cow. That is crazy. That is cold, man. So I'm hoping that guy protects that palm. Will trachys grow faster in my subtropical desert? Yep. I think they're going to grow fast, their palms. Yeah. Water them. If you're in a desert, so Trachycarpus palms are not a desert palm. I can tell you that. But if you're growing them in a desert, you're probably going to have to water them more. And I think they'll probably grow pretty fast. If you got them in really good soil, you pour the water to them, they'll probably be happy campers, right? That's the thing. And we know they like water from the ones I got growing down in the ravine. I'm going to show you something. I'm just going to go grab something here. Hang on. Just want to show you something. So you see these seeds right here? So these are green. I just picked these yesterday, and these are Trachycarpus seeds off a palm I planted over 30 years ago, and the palm has not much more than 4 feet of trunk on it. It's super thick, super healthy, and absolutely weighed down with palm seeds. Okay, so it's got super stiff fronds on it too. So these are special seeds from zone 8A/8B. So some of these I'm definitely going to plant, and some I will probably sell. So I have a lot. You like those A's? Aren't those nice? And they're still green. I mean, there's tons of palm seeds around here. So I ripped a few off, but generally Foodie Phil gives me the palm seeds, and he ships me a lot of palms from his garden there. Well, check out the video. Check out the video I uploaded today of his garden, and you can see some of the palm seedlings in there. I got some spots in my garden that is clayish. They seem to grow in clay too. Yeah. They do grow in clay. That's the wild thing about Trachycarpus palms, right? And unfortunately, I planted some of my sable minor in very poor rocky soil, and they absolutely hate it. I should have put them in a wetter spot. I wish I could plant them in a ravine, but they won't work down there. It's too shaded and it's too cool down there in the wintertime. No sun in the wintertime because it's very shaded all the time. So sable minor would prefer shade. Maybe in the deep south they can grow in the shade, but not this far north. Trackies do grow in the clay. Yeah. So anyway, these are green seeds, and they will turn black, and they're nice plump seeds. They look like they're ready. I should have cut a whole stalk off, But anyway, there's a few I got, and I will plant them. I'll let them go black, and then I'll sow them. Matter of fact, I'll grow them in the baggie. Well, these ones are for people who want to buy some of them. I might put some on eBay. I'm not sure. Or you know what? I tell you what, if you're the first person to comment, I'll make sure I save some. If you're the first person to comment on my video when I hit 31K, then you can win some of these seeds. And then I would send you some of these seeds, right? So there you go. So who's the first person to comment when I hit 31K, get some Zone 8A Trachycarpus seeds from a 30-year-old palm tree. Actually, the palm tree is older than 30 years old because I planted it 30 years ago, and it was already like maybe a year and a half old when I planted it. They will. I don't mind palm. They will. They'll go palmate. Just be patient with palm trees. Yeah, it depends on the heat and depends on the growing conditions. I've seen them grow palmate so fast. There's a guy up here. I sold 800 palm seedlings one time. 800 of them. They were year-old seedlings, and he put them in his greenhouse. That was in March, and by late September, beginning of October, they already had palmate leaves on them. He fed them lots of fertilizer. He had lots of heat, lots of moisture, and it was just unbelievable. Like, I did not even recognize that these were the same palms that I sold this guy. It was absolutely blew my mind. Not a pinnate, a palmate. Palmate Trachycarpus. A pinnate. Could you imagine a pinnate Trachycarpus? That would be crazy. A pinnate Trachycarpus. Or how about if you crossed a pinnate palm with a palmate? Costa palmate. Could you imagine that? You got a palmate palm and you crossbred it with a pinnate. Wouldn't that be something weird if they could genetically modify? What would that look like? What would a palmate crossed with a pinnate look like? Would you have some palmate fronds and some pinnate fronds? Or would it be like you go up the petiole and half of it's got a frond, like a palmate frond, and half of it's got a feather frond on it, pinnate? Wouldn't that be like the coolest, craziest palm tree? I mean, they're doing weird things in the labs all the time. Look what they're doing right now, right? So, and like somebody said the other day, maybe they could genetically modify a coconut palm to withstand colder temperatures. Do you think that is possible? Do you think one day they will genetically modify some coconut, the fruit from a coconut palm to make it grow hardier, like more frost tolerant to maybe 25 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 20 degrees Fahrenheit? I mean, if they did that, it would really take the fun out of growing palm trees because palm trees would be everywhere. So if they could genetically modify any palm tree to survive minus 20 below zero, it would suck. It would actually take the fun out of it for a lot of people, I think, because you would drive through Alberta and you'd see palm trees everywhere, And the reason I grow palm trees is because, there's a lot of them around here on the coast, but not every single gardener grows them. So it does turn your heads when you drive by a place and you see palm trees, right? It would take the tropicalness out of coconuts. I agree. So I don't think it would be a good thing. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I think palms, I think it would take the fun out of the hobby because I think the reason most people get into the hobby is because it's different. When you grow palm trees and exotic plants in your garden, it does get people talking. People question it. So if we're driving by your place and say you live in a cooler northern climate and you see a bunch of palm trees growing in exotic plants, if you know about gardening, you're going to slow down. You're going to look at it. You maybe take pictures. You're going to maybe question the owner, like, how can you grow this stuff here? Because you're interested in it. If you're growing pine trees, if you're growing junipers, if you're growing just run-of-the-mill boring stuff, nobody's going to ask any questions. I don't care about maple trees. I really don't care about maple trees growing in someone's gardens. I'm going to drive right past that yard. But, yesterday we were in Tsawwassen, where Wendy lived at one time. Palm trees everywhere. There are palm trees everywhere you look. The streets are lined with palm trees. And there's one garden we passed. Maybe the guy had 15 palm trees, mature palm trees in his front yard. The whole front garden was a grove of palm trees. It was absolutely awesome. She pulled over and I got a short video of the guy's garden, which is kind of cool. So I think I'm going to put this down here. You know what's good about live streaming here? Live streaming here, it's good internet. Well, you need to overplant it with palms. So Salt Spring Island, there's quite a few palms in people's gardens, but not all of them you're going to see because most gardens have trees and stuff in front hiding them. Wendy's listening to something in the other room. Palm Nation, I got stuck in a cave. Are you stuck in a cave? Yeah. So Vancouver, there's lots of palms. Tsawwassen, there's lots of palms. White Rock, there's lots of palms. There are some palms here in Langley, but definitely not like Tsawwassen, Vancouver, and Cloverdale. There's getting lots of palms, but they're making their way out here to Langley. And these are the ones that are going to produce hardier offspring in Minecraft. Is Minecraft, that's like a video game or something, isn't it? I think it is. Minecraft. I hear about Minecraft. I just don't know about it. Anyway, I'm going to put these seeds. So I don't know when my thing's going to turn over to 31K, but whoever wants some seeds when I turn to 31K and they leave the first comment can get some seeds. If not, I will send them some seedlings, right? Queen palms are here in the desert without water. The queen palms are great palms. I love Cypress Roman Sophiana. They're beautiful. You just put the update on your laptop. You know what I'm going to grab? I'm going to grab some Froger. Got to grab some yogurt. I got to grab some yogurt here. Actually, had a really good continental breakfast this morning. They had like an awesome breakfast here at the hotel. You know what? Nice thing about this hotel, we can bring our dog. Our dog is here too. You know what's even better? Our friend paid for this hotel for us. We didn't have to pay for this hotel. Foodie Phil said, come on out and I'll pay for the hotel. That's how nice Phil and his wife are. They're like super nice, generous, beautiful people. And they said, you come on out to Langley and we'll pay for your stay. So that's pretty awesome. So thanks, you guys, if you're watching. Oh, man, that's good. Yeah, so palms. I have the Syagrus butea, and I did actually put a plastic bag over it. We'll see how it does this winter. If it makes it through another winter, well, that's going to be going on. Well, February 2018, I planted it. Wow, I bet you they love your climate. I hope my palms I'm going to start tossing seeds around. Yeah, you should. That's what you got to do. Make sure nobody pulls them out. You know, that's the problem here, Zach. You know, there are palms in front of businesses that I planted. So the seeds fall on the ground, but the gardeners that look after those places weed the seedlings out. In front of our hospital, there's two big Trachycarpus palm trees planted 38 years ago. In the spring, it'll be 38 years. Seedlings everywhere. And, you know, you go there sometimes to harvest seed, and the gardeners ripped a lot of the seedlings out of the gardens, which kind of really upsets me. Just leave things alone. I wish they would leave things alone. But that's the way to do it. I throw seeds around everywhere. That's good yogurt. That is very good yogurt. So anyway, if we do get cold weather back from the Gulf Islands, stay tuned for videos because you know what? I do like weather anomalies. And that always gives me something to shoot a video about. James said I could have some serious fun with royal. You should try growing a royal palm. I once had a Ristonia in a pot, but guess what? It died. The frost killed it. I had a Rostonia regia, royal palm. I bought it at a nursery. I didn't grow it from seed, but it died. I've tried all sorts of palms. Just gonna wash this off. Hang on, guys. Can you turn that down? Thank you. Thank you. Turn it down.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Wendy, did you put on your video?
What video?
The Swart Langley one, the big one, the long one.
Nope.
Oh, you didn't put it on yet. Okay, I shot you a 14-minute video today. It's pretty much 14 minutes. So, anyway, guys, I hope you guys are having good weather down where you guys are. We know Jane is having awesome weather, and here the weather was absolutely beautiful today. I shot a lot of videos for Wendy today, or a few videos. Watch her channel too. I got a royal outside my house on the sidewalk. Cool, lucky you. Well, you're in a good climate if you can. A royal palm can live long term. People just think it's a queen so far. Well, you know what you should try, palms, is Rhodesia bifida cata. You should try a foxtail palm. Foxtail palms are awesome. That's one of Wendy's favorite palm trees. Mine, I really like fan palms, and I love Bismarckia. So if I had my choice of planting two palms, between the two, I'd go Bismarckia over foxtail. I like foxtail. If I had a choice between a royal palm or a Bismarckia, I would go Bismarckia because I really like Bismarckias. I had an awesome weather today. I had 27. Toasty. Gotta like that. Toasty. Yeah. So today, like I say, here was around 40, 44 degrees, something like that. 45 degrees, maybe. It was just seasonal here in Langley. Not too bad. I should see what the weather's going to be like tonight in Langley. It is going to be, oh, wow. Look at that. Nope. We were 8 today. Sorry. We were 8 today, and it's going to get down to says 0. It says 0 degrees Celsius here in Langley. And there are palm trees here. So, these palm trees produce hardier offspring. So where I got these seeds from, it gets colder, but he does have bananas in his garden, and they still look pretty good. And he's got passion flowers still blooming out in his garden. And a lot of them have passion fruit on them. Judean date. Oh, yeah, the Judean date palms. How about that dactylifera? You know what? I like dactylifera too. Actually, I do like dactylifera. So the Judean date palm, there's the one that they had seed. They said it was 1,000 years old or something, or 2,000 years old. It was a long time ago. And they actually germinated. They got some to grow, and they grew new palm with it. Found a nursery that had one, but the Bismarckia? I had Bismarckia before palms years ago, back in the late 1980s, and it died in the wintertime. Are they really? There's some nice palm trees in Israel, man. Right? And I'm guessing you're talking Israel. Yeah, Israel. Israel's got some nice palm trees. I think there's palm trees in Iran and Iraq too, isn't there? There are date palms there too, I'm sure. And in Egypt, there's tons of them. Tons of date palms in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, probably Dubai. And what's that other little? There's Dubai, and there's another little Kuwait. Lots of date palms grow there because it's hot and it's dry, and that's what they like. And when I stayed in Anaheim with the kids, we took them to Disneyland. Last time I was in Anaheim was August 2008, and it was stinking hot. But the streets in front of our hotel were lined with Phoenix dactylifera. They're absolutely beautiful. I think I prefer them over Phoenix canariensis, the look of them, because they kind of got that silvery, kind of almost bluish tinge to those fronds. Palms, I can plant more in my garden, I think, so I need to make a hole in cement outside my house. Oh, you have to get a jackhammer? You have to get a jackhammer and break through the cement. Well, the nice thing about palms, you can actually do that. You could actually jackhammer a hole in your sidewalk or in the cement somewhere out in your yard if you have a cement patio, and dig a hole in there and plant a palm in there, because the palm tree is not going to crack the cement with its roots, because palm trees have lots of little roots, and they're not going to damage your foundations. They're not going to damage your sidewalks or your driveways. And people don't realize that about palm trees. I see some palm trees in colder climates planted right up against the house. So here's your house, here's the palm tree, and people say, well, that's too close to the house. It's going to damage the foundation. Not going to damage your foundation. And the palm tree I dug out in beginning of April with Scotty, it was too close to the lady's house. So she said to me, she asked me if I wanted it, because it was too close to her house. And, it was still a ways away from her foundation. It's just that she didn't like the fronds. Here's her house. The fronds were brushing up against her house, over the overhang or whatever. She didn't like it, so she's going to get it cut down. I wanted to start palm version. And they produce billions of seeds. Loblolly Pine seed farm version of the Loblolly Pine tree. So can you use that? Is it good? So Loblolly Pines, I always hear people talking about Loblolly Pines. What is special about Loblolly Pines? Are they Do they look tropical or something, or they have long needles? They must have long needles. I mean, I should try one. Lots of pine trees grow on Salt Spring Island. I mean, it might even work here in Langley. What is with a loblolly pine? Are they good for firewood? Maybe they're a firewood tree. I don't know. I don't know much about them. 7 is, I think, her seeds were dated from time Jesus walked on earth. They've germinated. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. That's the one. 77.7 is the one from the times of Jesus. So they're over 2,000 years old, and they germinated some quite a few years ago. I've seen the post periodically comes up, and people put it on Facebook. But I actually saw that years ago, and yeah, the one they germinated has a fence around it. They grow in this. I think loblolly pines, don't they grow in New Jersey too? Aren't they native to New Jersey? I got to look it up. I should look it up. Loblolly. Loblolly pine. I'm gonna look up a picture of loblolly pines. Let's look up images. Okay, they're pretty cool. They're known as the United States from Texas, East Texas to Florida, north to southern New Jersey. Ah, there we go. I was right. New Jersey. They grow in New Jersey too. So they'll work here. If they grow in New Jersey, they're going to work here. How fast does a loblolly pine grow? They grow, you know what? They grow 2 feet a year, it says. A loblolly pine. They grow 2 feet a year. So that's pretty fast. So you know what redwoods grow here? Oh, check out my video I shot today of a mature giant sequoia hedge. It goes forever. And I started shooting partway as we were driving, but they're, I'm going to guess, over 100 feet tall, and they're massive trees. I'm guessing they were probably planted 100 years ago. These are big California redwood tree head. They're not coast, they're giant sequoia. So the big redwood tree hedge. I've seen them grow 10 feet. 10 feet. Okay, because this is saying, yeah, these ones say, this is what it says. This is, I'm just taking this off the internet here. It says, this is what it's telling me. Mature loblolly grows height of 60 to 90 feet, spread at 25, 30. Grow rate, trees grow at fast. Height increases more than 24 inches a year. Wow. No, don't have a Wollemi pine, but they do grow on Salt Spring Island. I tried propagating one from a friend when I was at her place because she's got a nice one in her front yard. She planted it a couple decades ago. And we put down a branch and we put it in the ground and we buried it and we put a rock on it. So the part that was buried in the ground, we were hoping it would get roots. And she took it off. It did have some roots on it, and then it died. I guess it dried out or something, which was a real bummer. But anyway, they do grow on Salt Spring Island. And there are some here on coastal BC mainland. Used to sell them when they first came in back in the late 1990s. That was the first time I saw the Wollemi pine. They came in at the nursery. And little plants like this were like over $100. And I says, "Oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'd never heard of these things before." I says, "What is this tree?" It looked pretty cool. But what is this tree? So they're Wollemi pines from Australia. And there's a nursery down the road from me that started a whole bunch of cuttings. So hopefully in the spring, if they've started, if they rooted, then I could buy one. There's some on your property. There's some on your property that were seedlings in there now, 50 feet tall. So you know what? We have big pine trees on our property. We actually had a couple of them cut down. We have mountain pine, Austrian pine, and we have shore pine. I had ponderosa pine. I had Scotch pine. I have 2 shore pine. And then we got the hydro guys to cut them down because they're up into the wires. And the shore pine's native. We have shore pine that's native to Salt Spring, but only on the mountaintops where it's colder. But the needles aren't so long on a shore pine. They're not that long. But I like, we had a Mexican pine. And stupid me, I planted it, and I should have kept it watered, and I didn't. I had it for years outside in a pot. Years and years. I had the thing for 10 years outside in a pot. Long needles on this Mexican long needle pine. Planted the thing, didn't look after it, and it died. Died with a bunch of stuff this summer. Unfortunately, it sucks. So I do like pines. So you have some on your property that received 10 years and now that's pretty fast. So they grew 5 feet a year. Wow. It's kind of like eucalyptus. I had eucalyptus nitens grow 6 feet 1 year. 6 feet for eucalyptus nitens. There's cedar of Lebanon growing. Is that cedar of Lebanon? Oh no, it's blue Atlas cedar. We do grow cedar of Lebanon too, but there's blue Atlas cedar. Blue Atlas cedar is a nice one too. There's a massive one growing in Centennial Park in Ganges, a huge blue Atlas cedar, which is another one to try too. They're pretty cool. Cedar of Lebanon's good too, and that'll work there. But I want to try planting more. Like we have a few conifers. We have the coast redwoods. We have Cryptomeria japonica. What else do we have in there? Some podocarpus. And we do have some pinus too. We do have some pine trees. We don't have a lot of conifers we've actually planted in our garden in Memphis. Yeah, cedar of Lebanon's a pretty cool tree. I like them. I think they're really cool. So, yeah, but the thing is they take up room. They take up a lot of room. So if you have lots of room, grow them. And our garden now is getting so full of plants, and I'm worried about planting something like that because it will shade out some of the more tropical looking plants, right? Like plants that might be maybe like sun. And that's what kind of concerns me too, right? And our eucalyptus trees are all growing back, but I got to keep those things low because they're going to be, well, if I don't keep on top of the eucalyptus trees, they're going to be weeds. So next spring, I mean, I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in China for a while. I'm stuck in China, so I'm going to have to maintain what we have. And it does become a lot of work maintaining eucalyptus trees that have been cut down. So I'm going to have to take the hedge trimmers, cut them off. Cedar of Lebanon. And I think it's quite hardy. A cedar of Lebanon is a pretty hardy tree. And so is the blue Atlas cedar. I saw a weeping Atlas cedar today. Blue Atlas cedar. Let me look at that one here. Maybe it is a cedar of Lebanon. Blue Atlas cedar. Oh yeah, no, it's blue Atlas cedar. Yeah, different. Yeah, blue Atlas cedar. Check out blue Atlas cedar. Japanese. Yeah, black pine is nice. I remember planting, those grow on Salt Spring. I remember planting a bunch for a Japanese guy I worked for years ago, and he actually grew them from seed. And he had these Japanese black pine in his front yard arranged with these rocks and stuff. It was kind of like this Japanese garden. And then he twisted them with wires. He had them wired up. So they were kind of like, they almost looked like these giant bonsais growing in his garden, but he had these black pines. That was back, I would say, the late 1970s. Late 1970s, he had these things, and they were pretty cool, man. Black pine, and then we planted more in his garden that he grew from seed, and now they're probably big trees because that was maybe 79, 1980, something like that. Late 70s, early 80s, and he had a bunch of them in there, which are kind of cool. Black pine. I'm just trying to think what other pine we have. We had Ponderosa. Maybe it was Korean. We have mountain. We have Austrian. They have pretty long needles on them. And we have two shore pines in our garden. And the mountain and the Austrian are quite nice too. So as long as they don't break, and fall in our greenhouse, because there's a greenhouse nearby. And you always got to watch when you're planting trees near a greenhouse. We know because we had our eucalyptus tree cut down that was hanging over the greenhouse. And if a branch come off that eucalyptus tree, it would have caused a lot of damage. So anyway, I'm looking forward to sowing some of these seed and see what the offspring will be like, since this is off a stunted, stubby palm tree, like a 30-year-old palm tree with just over 4 feet of trunk on it. Definitely no more than 5 feet of trunk. It's under 5 feet of trunk. So a 30-year-old palm, over 30-year-old palm with a stubby, short, fat trunk and stiff fronds on it, and thousands of seed growing in zone 8A/8B. So we'll see what the offspring are with these babies. Will they be stubby or will they be tall? Douglas fir tree? Oh God, they're weeds where we are. Oh my God, there's like our forest. That's what we use. We use for firewood. We use eucalyptus and Douglas fir. Douglas fir is the number one firewood. There's like Douglas fir cones all over our property. They're like freaking weeds. Our forests are mostly Douglas fir, right? They're big trees, and they'll live to like, I mean, how long do they live? A couple thousand years old, I guess, maybe 1,500 years old. Yeah, I've never seen seed. I'm guessing they're in the cones. I've never tried growing them, but there's seedlings everywhere. There are seedlings. I could try to get you some seed. I'll have to go at home because the squirrels are up there, the red squirrels. They keep throwing the cones down. And I'm guessing in the cones, there's little seeds. Like I've grown lots of redwoods from seeds, local seed, and there was seeds actually in the cones. Yeah, I heard Sereno repens can live a long time. And that's a nice palm. And that was the debate about the palm that I planted. I wasn't sure what I have. Is it Sereno repens? Is it Trithrinax? So you seem to think it's Trithrinax. Some people seem to think it's Sereno repens. I'm hoping it's Trithrinax because, and I love Sereno repens. Don't get me wrong. I love Sapomento, but I would be happier if it was a Trithrinax because Trithrinax, I think, is a little bit rare. As much as I love Sereno repens, no offense, they're Sereno repens. And what's that?
Oh, these things are.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah,
You want more lights on?
Oh, it's good.
So 1,000 years is a long time. It's kind of like the forest we went into in Port Renfrew. Wendy and I went into Avatar Grove, and there's 1,000-year-old plus cedar trees. More because exactly. So the spread could be indefinite. Could you imagine the size of a Sereno repens, say 500 years old, right? Alligators too? Do you think so? Like how long can an alligator live? Like I know turtles can live 150 years, right? Like a big tortoise. There's David. David, good to see you in there, man. We're on the mainland right now, broadcasting live from the Best Western Hotel, southeast of Vancouver. So good to see you, David. Hope everything is well down under. I know it's nice and warm in Australia. Definitely warm. I like your flag. Hey, is that that's the Israeli flag, isn't it, David? I think that's an Israeli flag. Are you from Israel? David Button. I'm guessing you're Israeli, right? What flag is that? They don't. Is that true? Like, how old do alligators live to? What's that, babe?
Ask me if there's a place called the Howard
Johnson?
It's like a Howard camp.
Wendy's watching a thing on Australia, and she says she said there's places where they're locking people up for 14 days at a time. Is that true or not, David? I mean, she's listening to the news, right? And they said there's these camps they have, and they're throwing people in.
Doesn't matter if you're jabbed or not.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. I don't know. I find Dave, you're going to give me the dirt. Are there camps?
Well, you need to watch it after.
Are there camps set up in Australia where they're actually throwing people in? Wendy doesn't watch mainstream media. She watches BitChute and Rumble, right? So I don't know about this stuff. Yeah. That's an Israeli flag plantation. Okay, cool, interesting. Okay, so that is an Israeli flag. Alligators don't age. Is that really true?
They don't age.
I didn't know that. We got to get some of that stuff out of them, the DNA, and put it into us. They don't age.
They look old.
Well, really? Jellyfish too? You think they live? So what does that mean? Yeah. Immortal. Does that mean they live forever? Do alligators really live forever? No, they can't. They have to.
How old do they live?
Like, how old do they actually live to? They can't be immortal. That's Superman's immortal, but kryptonite bothers him.
You're fixing your own.
My father is Islamic. My mother is Japanese. Oh, cool. That's a good combination. Right on. Cool. I worked for a Japanese guy for 15 years and 3 months. Super awesome guy. Gave me good work ethics. And here I am today, sitting in a hotel room, going to have a.
You're making your own. You can do that.
What? Wendy says I have to make my own dinner. I'm live.
I'm
live streaming here, babe.
Just doing our own deli.
I'm live streaming.
Good. Yeah.
And I got lots of people in there, which is good. It's nice to have you guys in there. So that's a good combination, Islamic and Japanese. So David, tell me something. Do you like sushi? Do you like to eat sushi? Oh, that looks good. I only need half. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll have some of that. She's making a BLT. Alligators can't die of old age. They die other causes like disease from. Oh, really? They don't die of old age. Is that true?
No.
Really? I did not know that. So let's just say if there's an alligator in captivity and it never got sick and nothing ate it, that means it could be like 300 years old. I mean, there could be like do you think there's like a three?
Tortoises live really.
Like, actually, I think tortoises can live maybe close to 200 years, can't they? Those big ground tortoises.
Everything.
So does that mean there's alligators out there that are a couple hundred years old? In Norway, there is a hotel set up for people arriving to the national airport, and they have to go into quarantine on the hotel. They have been considered. Okay, interesting. Okay. They don't do that here.
I heard that if the girl that went in there, she came in contact with somebody that had it, and they took her to it.
That's
And she says it doesn't matter if you've had jobs or not. But
crazy.
she says it's really bad there.
If you leave the hotel, $3,000 fine. Well, Wendy's niece got
She
a
says you feel like you're in a
$2,200.
box.
Wendy's niece got a $6,250 fine landing at Pearson Airport a couple weeks ago.
She said they treat you like you're in prison.
Oh, that's unbelievable. It would be probably live forever, Palm Nation says. I got to Google that. That is pretty cool. Like, I had no idea. See, I just learned something from you guys. So in Norway, okay. My favorite food, spaghetti and taco. David Button likes spaghetti and taco. Gotta like the emojis.
Spaghetti and taco.
I like the,
Oh my God, is that frozen?
what is that?
Cucumber froze.
No way.
Oh,
Wendy's
man.
cucumber froze in the fridge?
Yeah.
She's breaking it. How did it freeze? Is it a freezer in there?
Cold. No, it's cold.
This thing froze. We got a frozen cucumber. Picked fresh out of the garden with shrink wrap on it. So tacos. I like spaghetti and I like tacos. So this weekend we're going for chili to friend Scotty and Susie's place when we get home. And then we're going for a nice pasta dinner to another friend. We're busy. The next few weeks we're going for dinner after dinner. We've been invited to all these dinners. So which is good. But I like tacos and I like spaghetti. And I think Wendy likes tacos.
Everything's frozen.
No way.
Yeah. That fridge is cold.
But you got to turn it down. There's a thermostat in the fridge at the back. So it's set to freeze. That's why.
Jeez.
Burritos and seafood is amazing. Burritos with seafood yes, it is. I agree. Pasta is amazing too. I like Mexican food
Well,
too.
there's a microwave too.
Where?
So, and we do have our,
Oh, there is a microwave.
and we have our key.
Alligators typically die complication growing in the big stuff.
Yeah. That didn't freeze.
Wow.
Wow.
That is crazy. So you think a crocodile possibly could live for 1,000 years if it was healthy? Like if it was a healthy crocodile. Could you imagine that? If that crocodile could talk 1,000 years, could you imagine if you could live for 1,000 years? You could plant a jubea from seed and see it live to maturity and then probably die. Isn't that crazy? That would be just absolutely insane. So you plant a jubea now, and 1,000 years from now, this thing is, on its way out. Alligators I like alligators. Number one cause of death is starvation. Really? Not enough food for a gator? I thought they eat like golfers and people like to swim in ponds in Florida. Crocs can get heart attacks also. Oh, really? Is that right? I've eaten alligator before. It's actually quite good. It was either crocodile or alligator. I've eaten one or the other, and it was actually really good. And you know what? It tasted like chicken. It was actually really good. So is the fridge turned up?
Oh, I don't know, it's cold. Yeah.
It's cold. We got a cold fridge in this Best Western. So anyway, we had this amazing breakfast this morning. There's a complimentary breakfast, which was awesome.
It's really good.
Wendy actually made waffles. So they get so big they can't sustain themselves anymore. That's interesting. And that's how they die. So how big do they get? Like, are we talking 10 feet in length? I'm guessing 10 feet in length would probably be a pretty big croc. We don't have crocs up here. There's no crocodiles up here in Canada anywhere, right? You're not going to see a crocodile. I know they're in Arkansas and probably South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe southern Tennessee, but there are no crocodiles in Canada. What you got there? I might have to go for dinner soon.
Well, you can have that.
Okay, this is what Wendy made.
Sorry about that.
Wendy made a nice frozen hamburger.
Well, no, I made a deli sandwich.
She made a deli sandwich.
But the cucumber's frozen.
Alligators live long, but those muscle mass and teeth, which affects the future. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, Bob, very interesting info. 15-foot long gator. Can you imagine going for a swim in a lake and bumping into a 15-foot long gator? One of my friends is called Crocodile. He has a very low pulse rate. 46 per minute.
Oh, wow.
No way. Wow.
So he can.
What's the average human pulse rate per minute? I should know that. Is it like 70? What is it? What's the heartbeat per minute? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Even though I check my blood pressure, I should check my pulse rate. I don't really know. In Mexico City, there's a market that sells all kinds of meat, like lion meat, tiger, bear, crocodile. Oh, I'd like to try tiger, bear. I've eaten bear 3 times. Crocodile is either alligator or crocodile.
People are destroying everything.
Yeah, Wendy doesn't want to eat anything exotic.
No, I mean, leave them alone.
So today I was at my buddy's place, and in his trap, he caught another squirrel. Huge squirrels here on the mainland. And yesterday he caught a squirrel. He catches a squirrel pretty much every day. in these live traps and he lets them go somewhere. But I think some people do eat squirrels. In some states, they do eat squirrels like possum stew. And you know what? I heard squirrel is actually not bad. And it was a big, have you eaten snake before? I haven't eaten snake, but I heard snake is good. I've eaten cougar, mountain lion, but the squirrel in the trap was like,
big.
I got a video of it. I think I did shoot a video of it and I did upload it of this squirrel. And it was like, it was a big squirrel. Oh, have you eaten squirrel? Okay, what does squirrel? Zach's eating squirrel. What does squirrel taste like?
I like chicken.
That's good. What does squirrel taste like? The tree rabbits. Whoa.
Like rabbit?
They eat hamsters. Hello, palm tree dude. They also eat guinea pigs. In Peru, they eat guinea pigs. And they eat hamsters. I used to have pet hamsters. Pretty much like rabbit. He says squirrel tastes like rabbit.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Rabbit.
Cool. I love rabbit. I like to eat rabbit. So we should have eaten that squirrel. We should have killed it and eaten it. Check out the video. I call them palm seed eating rodents because they go up into the palm trees and they eat the seeds. Snake tastes like gator and chicken mixed together. Nice. Nice. I'd eat a snake. You can eat rattlesnake. I know they eat it. They eat it up here. People eat rattlesnake. There are rattlesnakes up here. Not where we live, but in the desert regions. That's good. 60. Actually, you know what? Because I test my blood pressure every week. Yeah, my heart, then it does actually have a heart on it. So I think mine was 73 the last time I did it. Yeah, your president's an idiot and our prime minister's an idiot. Both of those two idiots should get together and maybe form a club, and maybe ours should leave Canada, yours should leave the US and go maybe move to some northern island somewhere and start up their own community, and all the idiots can follow them. Gators grow and also weaken with time. Oh, they do, eh? Interesting, palm tree dude. Very interesting. It's not a bad sandwich. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, well, you know what? The good thing about the states, it seems like each state has their own law, right? So they can kind of make up their own rules. I was watching something on Arizona the other day, yesterday, and awesome place to be, Arizona. But here, anyway.
No, I can't. You talk so loud.
I'm with a woman who has sensitive ears. Well, is my voice out loud?
You don't need, it is loud.
I don't think I could ever eat a squirrel. Well, they are cute, the squirrels, but they're very destructive here on the mainland. They're an invasive species. I have a peek, but I've not been to Arizona since. Yeah, Wendy's mom had a place in Arizona for years, so she'd go down there, for 20 years. She had a condo down there, so she'd stay down there. But she sold it, I don't know how many years, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It would probably get stressed and die from the endless. Later, I'm starting my beer. You're starting your beer. It's drinking time. Oh, David, you party animal. Okay, see you, David. Thanks for popping in. Wendy made a good sandwich. So the nice thing about being in this hotel room, we got fiber optics internet. I could probably live stream for 3 days straight and it ain't going to affect it, right? Anyway, see you, David. Take care. And enjoy your beer under your palm trees, because I know where David lives, there's lots of palm trees in Australia, right? So that's what they need in front of this Best Western Hotel. They need palm trees. But guess what? There's no palm trees here. No palm trees in front of this hotel. Alligators get bigger. They only die because their organs can't. Organs can handle their growth up to a certain point of eating. Oh, oh, really? That's sad. That kind of sucks, man. Poor gators. Yeah. So I don't know. What tastes better, alligator or crocodile? I'm eating my dinner right now. Anyway, I'm going to go pretty soon too, because I got to finish my dinner. And then I'm going to put some more YouTube videos on, maybe, and look up a few things. Hey, kangaroo you can eat too. You know that? I heard kangaroo is edible. Matter of fact, I know it's edible because I used to go into the specialty meat store here in Langley. It used to be here. And they would have ostrich, I've eaten, camel, kangaroo. That's where I bought my alligator or crocodile, whatever it was. And they had snake too. Alligator tastes like chicken. So that's what I probably ate, Bob, was alligator. It was either one of the others, either crocodile or alligator I bought. And it still actually had the claw on it and everything. And I took it home and I baked it in the oven. It was awesome. I put some spices and herbs with it. It was good. Well, on Salt Spring Island, every day the frogs are croaking. It's like spring out there more at home. You hear lots of frogs. There's hummingbirds everywhere. It doesn't feel like it's late fall. It feels more, that's what I said to Wendy. We're looking, it says it's more spring-like here, but things can change. This far north, things can change, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. And I don't want any snow, but if we do get snow, you'll be seeing a video of it, that's for sure. I did cover up. I like catfish. Oh, catfish is good. I tried catfish once on the cruise ship, maybe twice. Love it. It was breaded catfish. Oh, one time it was breaded and one time I think it was deep fried. Catfish is so yummy. It's like the best. You cannot buy catfish in the store up here, which sucks. I wish we could.
Heat it up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, how are kangaroo steaks? Are they good? Yeah, we're going to see what happens here, piece of me. Maybe the cold is coming. There's a myth that there is a catfish the size. No way. You got to catch it. Got to go down there and catch it, Zach. Get that catfish. Video. Can you imagine that? A giant catfish? Okay. How cold is it going to get, piece of me? Give me the dirt. Okay, take care, Palm Tree Dude. See you later. Thanks for popping in. That was good to have you in there, man. And thanks for joining us here on the mainland, live streaming southeast of Vancouver on a nice evening that, hey, there could be frost out here tomorrow morning. And if there is, I'll shoot a video for you so you see the frost here. Can you eat carp? I didn't think. Oh, that's not that cold. 1 to 3 is not that bad. I was thinking down into the minus sides, right? Below 32. So it'll be good. Milder is better. That's what I always say. I've had frogs legs lots of times. Oh man, I like them. They taste like chicken. So piece of me, you're not seeing any extreme cold then because you're not that far south of me. Your weather is very similar to ours here. Okay, so what does it look like? What's the coldest temperature you see, piece of me, since you're just south of me? Yeah, we haven't had any frost, Bob. 0 frost on the north end of the island. Coldest temperature we've had in the north end was around 3 degrees Celsius. You can eat carp? Really? I didn't think you could eat carp. Wow. We're going to have to just wait and see what our winter's like. I'm banking on a normal winter. About 1. No, piece of me. That's not cool. $15 feet long. That's big. I'll tell you what we have up here that's really big is sturgeon. We have sturgeon in the rivers. They are massive. Some of them weigh over 1,000 pounds. But you're not allowed to keep them. You can catch them. You got to put them back. It is. Yep. I'd rather it build up to a freeze than just really a sharp, hard freeze come because it is easier on the plant. So right now, if we were to get a really bad freeze, it can damage and kill things. Okay, I'm not worried about Trachycarpus palms. Okay, Trachycarpus palms, least of my worries, but maybe some of the more marginal things could really get damaged. If you got a freeze right now and it got down to say 24 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 degrees Fahrenheit, that might cause some damage on some of the plants because we haven't had any frost. There's been no frost yet where we are, right? It does, piece of me. It does. It will F stuff up. If we get a bad freeze right now, and that can happen. I've seen it before where it was super mild and then a bad cold snap comes and it does F things up big time.
Okay, that's it.
No, at 81 degrees. I remember, I'll never forget, it was November 1985. Okay, hang on. Put that on there. Oh, look at this. Wendy made some quiche. So the year was November 1985. I think it was December or November 27th, 1985. Really mild. Really mild fall. And then it got down to minus 14.8 degrees Celsius, something like that. It was absolutely insane, or minus 14.7 degrees Celsius. And it effed up a lot of stuff. That was the November that actually killed my monkey puzzle trees. I planted these small monkey puzzle trees. Oh, maybe they're about this big. They might have been about this big. And I bought them and I planted them in the spring of 1984. Planted them in the spring of 84 and it killed both of them in that freeze. It got that cold. It just froze things solid. It was terrible because it was windy. It was windy. And I remember working outside in it that day from 8 in the morning till quarter to 10 at night outside. It was cold. The wind was blowing. There was snow blowing. I was in Langley. I was here. It was absolutely brutal. It was the worst November freeze, I think, in history here. Okay, so there was frost out there, piece of me. Yeah, there's been frost on Salt Spring Island too, definitely. I know there has. There'd have to be. If we were 3 degrees, there was definitely, well, like that one guy lives up in the Cranberry Valley. He's had frost. Early freezes and late freezes are the worst freezes for your exotic garden. That's just the way it is. Well, I hope it's mild for you down there in the volunteer state. Hey, check out my latest video I put on today of me talking to a guy in Tennessee. I talked to 2 guys in Tennessee on my radio the other day. Gotta love the talking to Tennessee. I've seen really bad late freezes too, where plants get damaged. It's February, been totally mild, and then boom, you get a deep freeze, and it just hammers the living out of stuff. Just a kiss of frost enough to remind plants ready. Yeah, well, that's all right. A little bit of frost is fine. Just a reminder that we live in the Great White North. Well, ours is going to be coming at some point. I just don't know when. I'm hoping our winter is mild, but we really don't know. I can't tell you exactly what our winter is going to be like, but I'm praying that we have a mild winter. Because if you're an exotic plant grower, milder or near normal, actually, even if it's normal, if we have a normal winter, minus the snow, I don't want any snow. If we have a normal winter, I'm happy. It doesn't even have to be mild. Just a normal winter, and I'm good to go. I don't want below normal. I don't want any really bad deep freezes, but hey, it could happen. I keep that in the back of my mind. We could always get a bad deep freeze. So you know Cranberry Valley is a different growing zone, right, Bob? Cranberry Valley is Zone 8A. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about Cranberry Valley. I've got lots of videos I've shot over the years of the Cranberry Valley where it was raining in Ganges, and it was kind of like, I'm not going to say blizzarding, but snowing really good up in the Cranberry. Higher elevation, in a bit from the ocean, surrounded by hills. It's a cooler spot in the winter, but it's also hotter in the summer. We need to ban winter from the Northern Hemisphere. Yes, we do. You need to put a fence, a big wall up to stop any cold air coming in from the Canadian prairies. So there is a big palm tree growing in the Cranberry Valley. Bob, I never thought there was any palm trees growing in the Cranberry Valley. All the years I've lived on Salt Spring Island, I've often wondered, are there any palm trees growing in the Cranberry Valley? So a few years ago, a friend of mine came up to me and she says, Joe, our palm tree, we have a big palm tree in our yard. And I says, well, how tall is it? She says, 20 feet tall. And I said, you're kidding me. And she says, her palm tree is 20 feet tall. She lives in the Cranberry Valley. So it wasn't, was it last year? It was last year, not this year, but the last year when it bloomed. I said, let me know when it blooms and I'll come and identify it. It bloomed. It was a female. So I went up there and I dusted it with male pollen. And for the very first time ever, her palm tree got seed on it and produced seed. And I harvested the seed off of it. And then I grew more palms with that seed. So nice, hardy offspring from the palm tree growing in the Cranberry Valley. Another cold area in the winter on the island is Cushion Lake. Very cold region in the wintertime. Minus 17.5 degrees Celsius has been recorded there by Alfred Temmel. You don't believe me, you can look on the Climate Normals page, data page, Environment Canada. Blackburn, extremely cold in the wintertime. I know all the mild and colder microclimates of Salt Spring Island. One of the oldest palm trees is actually growing in Cushion Lake. It's growing in Cushion Lake since 1968, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool palm tree. I should actually, you know what? I think it's a male, though. I think it might be a male. So, I mean, I could always take pollen off of it and dust another one. But Cranberry Valley is beautiful. It is a beautiful area, and it's a nice drive on the way to Mount Maxwell. Well, you know, I'm trying to think. On top of one of the mountains on the south end, I'm going to say it would be tricky up there. I think they would get really beat up because of cold winds. Our mountaintops get these cold winds, and there is like some houses. I'm trying to think, maybe up on Mountain Road. I think they call it Mountain Roads on the very south end. And actually at Spirit Lake. So it's interesting. A guy a few weeks ago came to my nursery and he bought 10 palm trees. He bought 10 1-gallon palm trees. And I know he bought the Spirit Lake at 2,000 foot elevation. And he said, and he's got another property at lower elevation. And he said he's going to plant those palm trees up at Spirit Lake. And I said, well, that's going to be pretty interesting because I don't know of any palm trees growing at 2,000 foot elevation. He's going to give me the dirt. I told him what to do in the winter. I says, you better pile some leaves around him just in case. So I'm thinking it'll be a challenge, Zach, for these palm trees to survive at 2,000 foot, you know? And, well, we're just going to have to wait and see. I hope they make it. I told him to do, you know, like I say, mulch them in leaves and better plant them than leave them in the pots. But generally, you don't see palm trees growing in the mountains here. You see them at lower elevations. I know them growing at, like I say, the one in the Cranberry, and I know them at about 700 foot elevation. I'm not too sure much higher than that. Maybe there might be some. Spirit Lake is also, that's right. That old dude lived up there. Are there populated places? The Buddhist colony too up in Mount Tom. I remember when Mount St. Helens blew its top, man. May 18th, 1980. May 18th, 1980, man. Mr. Harry Truman, stubborn old man, did not want to leave the mountaintop. So he became incinerated or maybe taken away with all the stuff that slid down the mountainside, carried him away with all the trees and mud, right? I mean, Harry Truman was old back in 1980. I mean, that guy was an old dude, right? And I guess he lived up there his whole life. I was 16 years old when Mount St. Helens blew its top. And I heard it and I felt it. I was working that morning. It was an early Saturday morning. I was at the mushroom farm and it felt like a bomb went off. The ground shook. I heard a loud explosion. I said, what was that? I lived in Langley. I lived here in this town, but closer to the U.S. boundary. So where we're staying now, I lived about 4 miles south, right by the U.S., maybe 5 miles south, right by the U.S. boundary. The only place. I heard it, man. Piece of me, I heard it. Matter of fact, I still have ash from that. So My buddy lived in Portland, Oregon. He sent me some ash. But you know, the funny thing is, I don't ever remember seeing ash here in Langley. They said Salt Spring Island got lots of ash. Maybe because we're closer to the States. I don't know. Or closer to the down Washington, farther down. And here we didn't get any ash. Only place in Tennessee where you can't. High altitude towns in East Tennessee. Up in the Smoky Mountains, right? Is that the Smoky Mountains? I want to think of the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Why do they call it the Smoky Mountains? Give me the dirt, Zach. Why do they call it the Smoky Mountains?
We take the carbon from the sugar, we rearrange that using a catalytic process, and we create.
I remember, piece of me, there was so much ash in Washington, people were shoveling it. And back then, my parents coming home, they got covered in ash. Yeah, it's weird, Bob, where the ash went. So maybe it got pulled around in the jet stream or something, but I don't remember any ash in Langley, southwest corner of Langley, but Salt Spring Island, and I wasn't living there then, but my mom and dad had a place on Salt Spring Island, but people were telling me that there was ash on Salt Spring Island, which is kind of cool. That was quite the explosion, though. Seems like yesterday to me. Wow. And, well, I don't know if it's ever going to blow again in our lifetime, but from Salt Spring Island, we can see Mount Baker to the east in Washington State, and to the southeast, just east of Seattle, we can see Mount Rainier from higher elevations. You can actually see Mount Rainier from Salt Spring Island. Both are volcanoes. Humidity makes it look, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Because I talked to a lot of people that live in the Smoky Mountains. I talked to a lot of volunteer state people that are up there. And that's what they say. We're calling from the Smoky Mountains. Oh, can you see Mount Baker from your, oh, really? Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So piece of me, when we look at Mount Baker, we're looking straight across at it. When I lived in Langley, we're looking down at it because we're above the 49th here. And Salt Spring Island's below the 49th. We're on 48. And like I say, we can see also, we can also see Mount Rainier, but from Langley, you cannot see Mount Rainier. Smoky Mountains because of the humidity. That's cool. That's interesting. It's like the blue gums. Is it the Blue Mountains in Australia? Lots of blue gums that grow in there. That's a long way away. Baker from Seattle. That's quite a ways away. Sorry, guys. I'm eating a quiche. You know what? I used to ski at Mount Baker. So if this cooler weather pans out and we get some precipitation, there could be some snow on our local mountains, which is good for the skiers. I used to love that when we'd get snow because I used to ski. Yeah, super nice view of Baker from east side of Shiprock. Oh, that's cool because that's a long way away. Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, how far is Baker from, it's in Sumas area, so how far is Baker from Seattle? Maybe 120 miles, maybe? Maybe 100 miles? Local station in Vancouver taking out. Oh, God. That's the problem, Bob. Everybody's in this panic. I'm not in a panic. You know, I try not to listen to the news. I see, well, because we're in a hotel room, I think Wendy's got it on now. But we don't actually listen to the news. I don't know the distance, but it's far. I'll look it up. Distance. Yeah, it's so bizarre you guys are getting those earthquakes. Distance. I'm going to look it up, guys. Okay. It is 146.1 miles. 146.1 miles. 146.1 miles to Mount Baker to Seattle. Wow. Okay, what's the distance from, let's just see, Salt Spring. I'll look it up. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I'm just trying to find the distance here. Wow. Distance is a long way. It's says 200. Does that sound right? It says 290. Yeah, but 141 by road. It says 297 kilometers from Victoria to Mount Rainier. Does that actually seem right to you? You actually had another earthquake yesterday in Tennessee. That's crazy. What's the distance from Salt Spring to Salmer, Tennessee? Okay, let's just see. Let's go Victoria, okay, because that's the bigger town. Might not even say Salt Spring. Mm, 4,043 kilometers. 4,043 kilometers from our island to Salmer, Tennessee. 4,000. That's a long way, man. 4,043. It says it's a 39-hour drive. That's a long way. So we can actually see Mount Rainier from our island, which is pretty cool. So we're looking nearly 300 kilometers. So it's over 4,000 kilometers from Salt Spring Island to Salmer, Tennessee. That's a long way. 39 hours nonstop driving. So if I get in my car now and I start driving, I can make it there in under 40 hours. That's what it says. How many cows, Wendy?
420.
They said 400. They said 420 cows drowned in the flooding east of here. 4,000 hogs died. No way. Really? Anyway, a bunch of stuff drowned out in the floods out in the Fraser Valley. So we're high and dry here in Langley, but if you get out east of here into Abbotsford and stuff, there's some massive flooding from the atmospheric river. Lots of chickens, thousands of chickens died. That's where the farmlands are. Lots of farms here too. Lots of chickens, hogs, cows, turkeys. They all drowned. Isn't that sad? Garibaldi. You've been trying to spot Garibaldi from... Oh, you mean Garibaldi like in Vancouver? I wonder if you could see it. Mount Garibaldi is a huge place compared to your... It is. You're right, Bob. It is absolutely freaking massive, North America. And you think of the states from one end to the other. You know, you got to fly from, say, Los Angeles to New York, or fly from Victoria to Nova Scotia or Newfoundland. It's a long way. And Australia is pretty big too. You fly from one side to Perth. You know, what's that? Oh, is this Australia? Oh, Australia. Accidents, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, it is a huge place. You know, you got to love North America. Don't particularly like who's running the place up here, but I do like North America. At this point right now, I'd be like to live somewhere in the States, maybe Texas. Maybe Texas. I bought myself another 525 rounds of, what do they call, hollow points, brass rounds for my Rugers. So I got lots of ammo. Anyway, I'm going to have to go down to the Rod and Gun Club at some point and start blasting some of those off. I was watching some good videos on shooting hollow points. So Mount Garibaldi is a long way away. So I guess from a higher point in Seattle, you might be able to see it. And maybe from Seattle at a higher point, could you see Victoria? Yeah. 520. I went up to Cabela's and bought me a nice box. 525 rounds. They had them on sale for $20 off. Maybe I should have bought 2 boxes. Yeah, it's expensive. So $525 for $34. That's pretty good. They were regular $54. So not too bad. And I still got another maybe 200 and something rounds at home of copper longs for my Ruger, right? So I hear a siren in the background. It could be the news, could be Wendy watching the news. So yeah, ammo is expensive, and so are firearms. They're pretty expensive too. But anyway, well, guys, it's been a slice doing this live stream. I'm kind of liking it here. The internet is so good. I have to leave tomorrow, and I'm going to try to check out a garden on the way home. There's an exotic garden near the ferry terminal called Secret Garden, and I looked at it on the internet. Somebody told me about it. A YouTuber comment says you should check out Secret Garden. So I think I'm going to have to check out Secret Garden. I saw it from the Clipper, not Side Victoria, and you could see. Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. Piece of me. That's awesome. We have a place called Mount Zion. It's called that because of the areas in a ravine. Oh, really? Cool. So how tall is that mountain, Zach? I'm guessing it's probably pretty tall. And I think the Smoky Mountains are pretty high too. I'm guessing it probably snows up in the Smoky Mountains sometimes, right? You know, like our mountains are going to have some snow on them if the temperature takes a dip here. Oh, the skiers are going to be happy up at Whistler. Sumas Prairie and Abbotsford area used to be. Yeah, exactly. They drained it in, I think it was 1926. There used to be fish in that lake. I Googled it, and I never knew this before the floods, Bob. I never knew it was actually a lake. So they drained this lake to make fertile farmland. Well, go figure. Now it's all flooded back into a lake again. You know what I mean? It was 24. Okay, 24. And yeah, the native people used to fish, and they used to say there used to be grizzly bears and wolf and everything around that lake back in the day, a long, long time ago. Isn't that bizarre? Grizzly bears? 33,000 acre lake. Well, Salt Spring Island's 45,000 acres. Well, you know what feeds it right now is the Nooksack River in Washington State. That's why it's flooded. So the Nooksack River feeds the lake. I don't know if it still feeds it now, but I think maybe at one time something else fed it. Yeah, very good soil. And that's kind of like the bread belt of British Columbia. Some of the best fertile growing in all of Canada is flooded over again. Mount Zion is nothing. It's in a western. It's a little hill. Okay. Sand Hill is the highest point in my county. Sand Hill. Okay, cool. Good place to plant some palm trees. And Sand Hill. That's what you got to do. Sand Hill. Palm. Spread some sable minor seeds on that Sand Hill and call it sable minor hill. That's what you got to do. Get up there and do some guerrilla seeding. Spread some around, or maybe some Serrano repens. I think Serrano repens would grow good where you are too. You should try Serrano. Get some saw palmettos happening where you are, man. I love Serrano repens. You know, I wish they were common palm up here, but it's pretty rare to ever see a Serrano repens up here. They're not common. So, but pretty awesome. So anyway, Bob, Salt Spring Island is about 45,000 acres. So that was a pretty big lake that they drained. Kind of sad that they drained it, eh? Isn't it? If you think about it, they actually drained the lake. It's kind of like they filled in Ganges Harbor to make Centennial Park. And a lot of the town has been actually reclaimed land they filled in the ocean back in the day. And I don't think you could do that anymore. I don't think you'd be allowed to drain a lake or fill in an ocean, right? Isn't that crazy that they could do that back then? So what do people expect living in this drained lake bed? It's a drained lake. They're in a lake bed. You know what? Try chili palms. Or you just have, you're lucky you can just drive down to Florida and dig one out. But try Chili Palm Co. Chili Palm Co. I'm hearing lots of sirens out the window. What the hell's going on out here? Hang on. There's something going on out there, man. I'm hearing some nasty sirens out there. So, saw palmetto, try Chili Palm Co. I wonder if they're still around. Okay, here you go, Zach. Okay, here, Zach. Here's a link for you. I don't know. You can read it. I just copied and pasted for you here. These guys might have. You probably know about this company. What does it say here? Chili Palmo. Updated 420. We are not accepting any new orders for 2021. Oh, for 2021. Okay. So they're probably taking orders. We're going to take. You have to take your next order for in 2022. So they will deliver to you. And windmill palm, blueberry bushes, Pindo, dwarf palmetto. You should ask them and see what they got. The Tennessee River used to be much longer than West Tennessee before they diverted half into the waterway. Oh, really? Wow. Interesting, Zach. Yeah, Ganges Fire Hall is also built on, it used to be ocean there. That was all filled in. The whole entire fire hall was built on ocean. Back in, I think, 1964, that fire hall was built. The post office, Thrifty's Foods used to be ocean too, all of that stuff. All the river diversions are sad too. I know there's a lot of stuff they do, and they probably shouldn't do, piece of me, but they used to do stuff like that back then. So Centennial Park, what I used to maintain when I worked for the Parks Department before I retired, that was all reclaimed land. So if you look at pictures of Ganges, go to early Ganges, go Google some photos of Ganges from, say, 1950. It was all ocean. It was all water. And then they started filling it in to make the town bigger so they could build stuff. So they made the park, and Centennial Park was 1967. It became a park. But a lot of the land in our town was all filled in. So I guess they dredged it. They dumped rocks in it, threw old cars in there, whatever they did. And even Grace Point might have been an island at one time where Grace Point palms grow. I think there was like a bit of water to get out to it. And then that was all reclaimed, Grace Point Square and everything. It used to be ocean. Downtown San Francisco is on unstable land. There's even a town. Yeah, you know what? The thing with San Francisco too, they get the earthquakes, right? And I think the big one, when was that? The 1907 quake? That was the bad one. The Tennessee River diversions could actually prevent beyond. Yeah, so I guess that's a good thing, because some rivers, they overflow their banks and they flood people out. Oh, what are they doing now, Wendy? How much do you think it would cost to import a 2-foot trackie to North Mexico? 2-foot trackie from Chile Palmco? I mean, you couldn't import it from here, from Canada. It probably cost a lot. For the phytosanitary certificate, might be $40. And then the trackie might be, I'm going to say the trackie, a 2-foot trackie might be $60, $70. We're going to say $120, I would guess. Maybe something like that. You get bad. Well, shipping. No, it might be more than that, because you got to pay for the shipping too, right? So phytosanitary certificate, the palm itself, and then the shipping. Shipping is expensive. Yeah, it's crazy that you guys get bad earthquakes. We're supposed to get bad earthquakes. I remember seeing pics of the War Memorial was more inland. Yeah, the War Memorial, Bob, was on the little traffic island. So you know where the fire hall is. You know where Ganges Fire Hall is, and you come out of the fire hall, and then kitty corner, there's that little traffic island in front there. And then you walk over to Centennial Park. That's where the cenotaph used to be. Okay. And then they moved it to Centennial Park, I guess in 1966, after it was filled in, or 67, something like that. Might have been 66. So that's where the cenotaph, the War Memorial Cenotaph, was. And it was all moved, right? And the War Memorial Cenotaph has been there since, I think, the 1930s, something like that, in Ganges. Tennessee River floods bad. With the diversion, it would be worse without this matter. Oh, they do, eh? Okay, interesting. Can you drive a boat all the way to the ocean? You probably could, I bet. I wonder. You'd probably come out in the Gulf of Mexico from Tennessee. Does it hook up to like the Mississippi River somewhere? Is there like a waterway you can get into the Mississippi? I'm going to throw this stuff out. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, no, the Delta River. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Are they scaring us again, Wendy? Wendy, are they scaring us again?
So right now, we're actually going to sequencing positives from earlier in November, just to make sure we haven't missed any cases.
Okay, coming back, guys. Hang on.
So expect to confirm more cases of Omicron. The only question is
Omicron. Oh, brother. Okay. Maybe Mobile, Alabama. Okay. Yeah, it's all compromised for flood control navigation. Yeah, exactly. Well, we can take a boat from here to Hawaii, but it takes a while. There are a lot of people in Salt Spring that have sailed from Salt Spring Island to Hawaii. A lot of boats in our marina come from the States, right? There's boats in our marina from California. There's boats in the marina that come from the Caribbean. They have to go through the Panama Canal. And there's boats, lots from Seattle. Tons of boats come into Salt Spring from Seattle. They're just coming up from the Puget Sound, right? So lots in there I see. And now more is starting to come up. Things have opened back up again. So now I'm starting to see, which is nice. I'm happy again. I'm starting to see lots of American license plates on Salt Spring Island. So we actually had, like I say, one American stay in our B&B this year is from some guy from Georgia. The Tennessee River hooks up to the Mississippi River directly to the Gulf. See highway lodge. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay, that's awesome. The Mississippi is a long river too, isn't it? Doesn't the Mississippi River start like way up there in Ohio or something like that? Curious. Give me the dirt. Wendy's listening to the news. Sounds depressing. Depressing news. That's why I don't listen to the news. Terrible. Yeah, exactly. Right. Wait, Zach, I'm just going to put these seeds away. These beautiful seeds. And I'll let you know when these guys turn black. When they turn black, I'm going to sow these palm seeds. Collected off a nice, short, fat, stubby trachea. Starts in northern Minnesota over Manitoba or whatever. Wow. That's a long way up. One's like Tennessee. That is really interesting. Mississippi River is long. That's crazy. So it goes for thousands of miles. That is a long way. Yeah, because they're getting rid of everybody too. Okay, guys. Oh, maybe I'll go to 2 hours. You know what? I'm just about there, and I'm having so much fun talking with you guys. Tennessee is the Amazon. Lots of fish in there too, I bet, eh? I'm sure the Tennessee River has a ton of fish. 4 miles wide. That is crazy. That's big. Wow. Mississippi is long too, that's for sure. Because it goes from the Gulf of Mexico, you say, to Minnesota. Okay. I'm guessing there's catfish in there too, right? Good. I'm listening to the news at a moment here. So I'm sure there's a few different types of fish in the Tennessee River, and I'm guessing the Mississippi River has a ton of fish in it too. Yeah. But is there a current? Can you actually swim in the Tennessee River, or is there a current that's going to pull you away? Is it safe to swim in the Tennessee River? Are there beaches along the side? I'm curious. I don't know. There's many fish. So there's different types of fish. Are there catfish in there? I guess there are. Mississippi help expansion of the United States. I'm guessing paddle wheelers must have went up the Mississippi. Eh? Do you think back in the day paddle wheelers went up the Mississippi? You can swim in the Tennessee River. Okay. So I was going to say there's no crabs or anything there, crawfish or anything like that, is there? It's just fish. I'm curious. And how about beaches? Is there sandy beaches along some edges of it? Mississippi carries way more water than any other river. It flows into. Interesting. I don't know the exact length of the Mississippi, but it sounds like it is a long river. And the Tennessee River sounds like the Fraser River is long too. What's the length of the Fraser River? Okay. Fraser River length. Fraser River length. Okay, so we have the mighty Fraser River here, okay? And this is how big the Fraser River is. Okay, so I'm going to post the facts here, okay? The Fraser River goes right through Vancouver, straight to Georgia. It goes right out into the okay. Big. Fraser River is 1,000. Hang on. Oh, you hear that, Wendy? Okay, there's the Fraser River. This is the Fraser River that goes through our province and goes right past Vancouver. And then Mississippi River length. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I. Wow. Mississippi Mississippi is, here's the Mississippi. Okay, guys, sorry. Here's the Mississippi River length. The Mississippi is 3,000. So it's about double. Has snakes, and Tennessee River. So Tennessee River is, so Tennessee River is very long. There's the length of the Tennessee River right there. So it's very long as well. It's over 1,000 kilometers. So first is Mississippi, then the Fraser River, then the Tennessee River. So they're different arms in the mighty. Yes, don't forget they're mighty. They're different. Yes, there are different arms. I don't know what the longest arm is. I'm not too sure. But the Fraser River is the longest river in British Columbia, stretching 1,375 kilometers. And you have freshwater mussels. Cool. Awesome. Mussels are good. Any islands there? It would be cool to plant. Yes. Oh, there are crawfish and aquatic turtles in the river. Cool. Beaches on the I'll send you. Oh, yeah, beaches in the Tennessee River. That's cool. See, that'd be a good place to swim then. Mississippi carries way more water than any other Ohio. You can swim in the Tennessee River. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome to have a river you can swim in because you can't really swim in the Fraser River here. Popping on and off. Just wanted to say hello. Okay, Zach, good to see you in there. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. Good to see you in there, Zach. That's a long river. Yes, it is, William. There's also some river. Oh, there's gators. The Australia, the Murray River, Darling, is 1,472. See, so that's bigger than the Fraser, longer. The Columbia River is bigger. Is it longer? The Columbia River. Now I got to look it up. Columbia River length. Columbia River length. Wow, you're right. You are right. It is longer than the Fraser. The Columbia River is 2,000 kilometers long. That's cool. Mark Twain, I remember, yeah, Mark Twain and the paddle wheelers that went up there. That's really cool. I just made the volume of water. Oh, the volume of water, okay. But you know what? It's bigger anyway. The Columbia River is longer than the Fraser. There's some bald cypress forest longer to the mangrove. Hey, that'd be cool to live on those islands. That's where you got to go plant some palms. Get out there in your boat ASAP and throw some palm seeds around, sable minor seeds on those islands. You could probably grow washies long term. Keys. Get out, plant some seeds out there. You should do it. Columbia is the world's greatest waterway. It empties out into that's the one that comes out by Astoria, Oregon, doesn't it? Doesn't it separate Astoria and Washington State? Well, I think in Fraser River there's pretty strong currents too. Definitely some strong currents in the Fraser River. There's no doubt, right? We don't have any rivers on Salt Spring Island. There are 0 rivers. We have creeks, but there's no rivers. Well, Columbia River, I'm guessing there are some beaches off of Oregon, right, where you can actually go swim in the Columbia River. There must be. And maybe it's more so, of course, in the summertime. And maybe it's flowing less in the summertime, I would guess. Is all drained now, can barely see the current. Is that right? So they drain, what do they drain it? Is all, what happened? Oh, dammed. Oh, they dammed it. Oh, I need somebody to supply me with. You got to go out there with your boat and spread them around. I have a bottle of beer here bigger than Ben-Hur. David, you enjoy that bottle of beer. It's probably very hot there in Australia right now, I'm sure. 18. Okay, steamboat ran the Cascades, 18 average speed near 60 miles per hour. Wow, that's crazy. There used to be paddle wheelers here on the Fraser River too. Paddle wheelers would take people from Langley over across to, I guess, was it New Westminster or something like that? Maybe New Westminster. I think Fort Langley to New Westminster. That's what I was told. We went to Fort Langley today. Creek and flowing. Yeah, Duck Creek. Duck Creek is a. What do you got for dessert?
Oh,
Wendy's got some treats.
there's stuff
Oh,
in the fridge.
no, Miss T. Yeah, Duck Creek flows really good. There's a lot of fish that go in there too. Duck Creek. I used to maintain that park. A video of a violent thunderstorm on the river from our boat. Really? Cool. Well, actually, not cool if you're in the boat. That's actually kind of scary. So Duck Creek flows into Duck Bay. And I've seen that thing flowing so good. It's kind of like the creek that runs through our ravine, Bob. It flows really good. Alberta, Albertonhurst, Calgary. Are you in Alberta? Albertonhurst, Calgary. Is that where you are in Hurst, Calgary? Where's that? Albertonhurst, Calgary. Albert Hurst. Albert Hurst in Calgary. Sorry that I got to mix that up. So how is the weather in Calgary right now? Give us the dirt. Albert Hurst in Calgary. I want to know what's the temperature there right now. What is the temperature for all of the viewers in Calgary? Let's get it out of the horse's mouth. Come on. Is it below freezing or is it above freezing in Calgary? Is there snow on the ground in Calgary? I want to know. We want to know, since a lot of us here are weather buffs. Okay. I'm in Langley right now, so it's quite nice out. Wendy's looking for some chocolate.
Nope,
What?
I'm gonna go.
Where are you going? What?
I'm just gonna go out.
Where? Outside drive?
No, just go out. It's real not here.
Come
No,
on.
seriously, it's the way this is, and your voice is as loud.
I only got 2 minutes left on this thing, and then I'm done. I got 4 minutes. You taking the dog? Wendy's going for an evening walk in sketchy Langley. Columbia River is known for training the lifeboat crews. Oh, really? Banfield. Crazy. I didn't know that. The weather agent says it's currently 61. I'll tell you what it is in Langley. Let's see what it is in Langley. Come on. Let's see what the temperature is in Langley right now. Is there any stores nearby? I'm with you. Hey, no, I'm going to come out with
You
you.
need batteries in there.
Okay, it's 4 degrees. I'm going to go for a walk with Langley. Or with Lang. What? Huh? I'm going to go for a walk with Wendy.
No, you stay. You want to talk on there? Go ahead.
No, I'm going with Wendy. Okay, guys, I got to roll.
No.
What?
I can go by myself.
No, I'm going with Wendy. I'm going to take a walk. Okay, guys, you take care. Have fun. I got to roll. Wendy wants to go for a walk. I'm going for a walk with Wendy. You guys take care. Love you all. See you next time. Cheers. I'm coming.